Hey folks, Moby here, bringing you a little French, what they call a heavy tank, the AMX 5120 on Nomonhan, which is not my my favorite map, but this tank was recently purchased a couple days ago because Gripball suggested I needed a tank to grind, and I've been waiting on sales because, as my friends know, I'm a cheap bastard when it comes to spending my silver. Um, So with the 2X on the way, with all the bonuses and stuff, with the Winter Bravo ops nearly done, and as of today, as of this commentary, it is done. I'm getting my 2X from the 9th of February through, is it March 2nd or 3rd or 4th or something like that. I figured it's probably time to buy another tank. So as you can tell from the front of that, it's a little like Soviet tanks. It's almost a pike nose, except for the base of it isn't pike. It's got a traditional lower glacis, but the upper part, the upper glacis is sloped, both sides. So basically, ridge fighting using that slope, and as you can see me coming up to the tip of this ridge here, angle it so it's very sloped. And the only shots would be probably into the turret, which is obviously less damaging, and hopefully they miss. The gun's got decent depression. I don't know the number offhand. I'm not picky baby. I don't have all this stuff written down, and I don't do all my research like that. That's just not me. But I'm enjoying the tank so far. So I've got it fully upgraded. Um, don't mind the camera switching there. I was button fumbling a little bit. I wanted to do aim down sight, but I screwed up. So I got the final package with the big gun. This gun, the base gun gives you 6 rounds and a reload of about 32 seconds, 33 seconds I got it down to. The big gun gets you only 4 rounds, obviously more pen, more damage, and still 32 seconds. So, you know, I'm fine with that because it's a 9 and you're going to see a lot of 10s. I'll take more pen and more damage, fewer rounds with the same reload time. I can deal with that. I'm going to play with the cameras here. You guys have to tell me if you like it or not, if it makes you sick. I'm going to pull the camera away from the tank and go to like free camera view, and you'll see that coming up in a little bit, but let me know if that's not cool or if that's something you'd like to see. And when I go to it, I can't see all the tanks in that view, so you'll see off to my left here into this village area in the southern part of the map. I don't see these tanks, but when you go to the free roaming camera view, you can see everything across the battlefield, whether you in the tank spotted it or have line of sight to it or not during the battle. It's an interesting view. I figured I'd throw it up there. That's an overview of the layout just before I do the separation from the camera from the tank. But anyway, today I just wanted to touch on maybe the forums, and I wanted to touch on sort of the state of the game, but go into the light wheeled vehicles that Quickie Baby highlighted. It's coming out on PC, and the only reason I bring it up is because a lot of what rolls out on PC will eventually come to console. They have their sandbox and test servers and all that stuff, and then they'll tweak things and then roll it out to PC. I don't find they roll things back, so it never goes backwards. So my concern is with these light wheeled vehicles, if that is just where things are going. We have tier 10 light tanks, which we never had before, and that was new, and it was a little unsettling for obviously the heavies and you know, artillery and things like that, just to keep up with. But you can sort of counter that. We've all been snapshot by a stupid Sheridan who takes no time to aim, pulls up over ridge, puts one in you. I've gotten my gunner killed, and then the tank takes damage, and he snapshots it, and just it's just not, you know, you're just scratching your head. Now you're going to put in light tanks that are even faster than light tanks. I don't understand why that is necessary. um, then you're gonna. Nobody seems to be complaining about it, but God forbid, the Maws had 3,300 hit points. People bitched, and then you had to nerf it to 3,000 hit points on PC, whereas on the console it always stayed at 3,000. So if we have light tanks that go 95 kilometers an hour with, I don't know how many hit points they got, let's say it's 1,500, does that mean we can have tanks with 25,000 hit points that go 2 kilometers an hour? Where does this end? You keep going to these extremes. We're going to have autoloaders with 20 rounds with, high pen, or are we going to have high pen cannons with low damage, or super high damage with low pen? Where does it stop? Where does the game, break from reality? We've already made up Chinese tank destroyers. That's completely fiction. We've stretched things, obviously, to get prototypes and tanks that are on drawings, never been built. That's fine. I think a lot of us can deal with that because you want to expand the game. But I'm concerned with these light wheel tanks. How can you lead a tank that's doing 95 kilometers an hour properly? And then he makes one little turn and the shot goes somewhere else. You could put a shot in one of his wheels, and you just damaging one wheel out of 3 or one wheel out of 4 doesn't track the tank, what we would consider tracking. So he's still able to move, probably just a touch slower. But let's say it goes from 95 to even 70. 70 is still pretty darn fast. And Artie's not really going to be able to hit it. Light tanks may hit it, mediums maybe. Tanks with very fast rounds, maybe some of the mediums have very fast rounds. I know the Swedish tank destroyer line has a quick round, but it's still extremely difficult. I don't think I'm a fan of it. I've been looking at it and kind of contemplating this issue. They're probably only going to be dominant on certain maps. Like this map is probably not a dominant map for them. And there's probably a lot of city maps that they're not going to do well in. Maybe that's their downfall. They will only excel at flat open maps. Maybe Malinovka, Prokhorovka. Maybe Karelia, things like that. But it's got to be. It'll probably be selective. Live Oaks. There's a few out there that we can. There's probably 5 to 10 maps that they could do well in. There's probably 5 to 10 maps that they're terrible at. So they won't be completely dominant all the time. But it's just one of those things that they're not driving the tank, and even if you're driving another one on the other side of the map, you don't want to deal with it. It's too much of a pain in the rear end. I'm just not a fan of this idea. Getting faster tanks doesn't make this game better. Just throwing more tanks in the game doesn't make it better. I'd like to see some maps. I really would. I mean, yeah, we have 40, 50 maps. They've got different rotations, the war, and then the sandstorm, and the rain, and typhoon, and all that shit, which you haven't seen a lot of. They definitely toned that down over time. That probably got toned down 6 to 9 months ago. So I'd like to see just a brand new map. Don't tell me war. You threw a couple buildings in there and whatnot, a couple extra trees, and now that's a new map. The 1944 variant of Thiepval Ridge I do kind of like. It adds a nice little twist to things. I like Redshire 1944. That's cool. I like Han 1944. I can deal with that. But let's come up with some new maps, entirely new maps. That would add some variety. Even taking, and I've talked to the guys about this, take 3 maps out of rotation once a quarter, and then put 3 new ones in. So they kind of get refreshed. They disappear for a while, you miss them, and then you bring them back, and then you're happy to see them again. That's fine. I like having Great Wall come back. That was cool. I could deal without a couple of them, but, that's fine. We'll live with it. I'm getting accustomed to it. Swamp is not my favorite map. Scorpion Ridge is not my favorite map, and Ardennes is not my favorite. Those 3 I could probably live without. But then if they're gone for 3 months or 6 months or whatever, I might wind up missing them, and I can deal with it coming back. So the light wheel vehicles, I'm a little concerned about. If you guys have a comment, feel free to throw it below. It's really not my cup of tea. I could play light tanks reasonably well, comfortable. Reject and I had a really great game in our PZ3Es one time. We almost got crucial contribution. We killed 12 tanks. We were driving all over the place, and I think it was a tier 4 match, if I'm not mistaken. I enjoy it. That's my favorite tank, my PZ3E. I've got the most games on that. That's probably 9% of my total gameplay. I don't do it to seal club. I don't do it. You certainly don't do it to make silver. You don't do it to make XP or free XP or crew boosts. But it's just a fun tank to play once in a while. Take a break from the normal grind and craziness. So the other thing is forums. I don't think Wargaming cares or reads the forums much, but we've had these ops. 25. You get 25 points if you play on Panama and win. You get 25 points towards this winter game with Bravo for February. And now I already made mine yesterday, my 500 points, so I'm done. I'm making 2x for the rest of the month. Every game, win or lose, I get 2x, which is great. That's fine. But I've seen Panama once, and I did the math. I posted in the forums. I was talking to Grip. I talked to Reject. And solo, over the life of this game, with 11,488 games played, since I've been recording every game on my own on my computer, out of the 33,000 that I've played it 35 times. Out of the 6,289 matches that I've played solo, which is about 0.56% of the time. Now, platooned up, I played it 64 times out of 5,199 games platooned up with the guys. That's 1.22%. So that's a little odd that there's a discrepancy between 0.56% and 1.2% throughout the history. That's a little weird in and of itself, because certainly 6,000, 5,200 games is plenty of large enough sample size, but it's curious that I've played it once, platoon with the guys, out of 243 matches, which means it's 0.412% of the time. So it's almost close to exactly half of my historical occurrence of seeing this map. So my beef is, don't just put up an op and not that they didn't address it, but you failed to mention anything that you were going to change the occurrence. You put it up and everybody's like, oh yeah, I see Panama once in a while. Sure, that's cool. I can get Panama, and I'll do my best and I'll win. I'll try to play smart. I'll work with my team. Maybe I'll turn my mic on and I'll give it some extra effort. But no, now you turn it down. You know, and these numbers, 243 matches, is statistically significant. You can't tell me it's not. Now, I'm a numbers guy, if you haven't known, but don't tease us with a carrot, but then you put the carrot 5 miles away, but you never told us that. You showed us a picture of a carrot, but you didn't tell us where it is. So it's next to gone. It doesn't exist. Yeah, some people have played it and they won it already. Some people played it once or twice, they won it, they're not worried about it. That's fine. I understand. I've got my 500. I'm not bitching about it. My complaint is, don't lie to me. I've got the numbers. I'm one of the only people that I know that records every single game. I put it down in this Excel file on the computer. Yeah, it's stupid and ridiculous, but it also it keeps me involved in the game. It makes me track and watch what I'm doing. I'm not going to complain if I say, man, today sucks, and I look at the numbers and I'm like, you know what, 155 or 60% of the matches. All right, I can't complain that today sucks. That's my interpretation, but the numbers take the interpretation out of it. So I'm not a big fan. So I was posting the forums a couple times. Rip said, hey, you should post your findings in there. So I said, you know what? I did. So I summed it up. I put the numbers in. I state my case. But, you know, you can't come up with a counter argument and say my numbers are wrong because they're numbers. They don't lie. There's no room for interpretation with the numbers. It is what it is. So Wargaming can say what they want, and the people that are trying to support them can say what they want. Someone did post in the forum already, not making a counter argument, but definitely not just simply agreeing with what I'm saying and saying, yeah. But they said, oh, I've played it plenty and I won it. That's fine. Good for you. You got lucky. I don't know. Maybe you played platooned up all the time. I don't know. Maybe, look, 80 out of 240 of my matches. I don't know. What is that? Third or a quarter? I'd say between the third and a quarter, something like that. Of my matches I played solo. Maybe if I played all of them platoon, I would have seen it 2 or 3 times. Got a little lucky. Just not the case. So I don't like getting lied to. Tell me you're screwing me. That's fine. We're going to turn down the occurrence of Panama. That's fine. But I've seen plenty of other maps. Tundra, Sand River, good lord. Put it on that thing, I would have seen them already. But you know what? Don't lie to me about this stuff. That's my only gripe about it. So light wheel vehicles, it's not going to happen anytime soon in console. But give it 9 months, a year, year and a half. Be ready. I mean, if you don't like the thought of it, somebody's got to start voicing their opinion now, because it's going to come, and I'm just afraid of that happening. So anyway, this is coming to a close. I do have a little bonus clip, but I'll stop talking for that. Let me know if you like the separating the camera from the tank. That was a reasonably decent match. I enjoyed the tank quite a bit. I'm going to keep playing it. I like where it's gone. I like the 5100. I like the 5120 a little bit better as well. So I'm down for this tank. Did a little flank move on that Tiger. Had a little chat with the last guy that was alive there, number 2 player on our team. We had a little chat back and forth afterwards. He said, good game. I told him, look, I didn't want him to think I left him, but I want to go kill that guy. So without further ado, here's your bonus clip. And remember, keep your stick on the ice.